Who is Angelo De La Vie? In a wake-up call for a sleeping world. Discover the hidden secrets of living and dying well. Based on heartwarming true life stories. Meet Angelo De La Vie, the angel of awakening and remembering. Inspiring a new vision for life. Beyond all fear of death. Discover the secret keys to living an inspired life. Angelo De La Vie, the angel of life, on a mission to uplift humanity in our world today. By award-winning author Odette Woods. Buy now on Amazon.
Hi, my name is Odette Woods, and I'm the author of my first published book, Angelo De La Vie, the Angel of Life. The byline is Discover the Hidden Secrets of Living and Dying Well. It is a book absolutely written for these times, a book of global awakening for a sleeping world. I'd like to read a few short sections for you here, taken from the penultimate chapter called Grace's Final Initiation. This is discussing the very important 5 human values. And the person who is speaking here is Angelo De La Vie, the central character. What are these important lessons that we need to learn in this limited physical realm, you might ask? The objective is to awaken from animal nature to spiritual nature. So how to do that? There are 5 important values, 5 human values to live by, which support this growth. And these are the keys to living an inspired life. Let us go through them one by one. The first human value, peace. You hear all the time of the quest for world peace and of global peace initiatives. Let me tell you that peace is an inside job. There is no access to external peace in the world, except by the manifestation of peace in yourself. So how can you find peace? You can read endless books on the subject, or you can simply observe what peace feels like and do what it takes to prioritize feeling like that. Ask yourself, when do you feel peaceful? You told me earlier that when you meditate, you access an inner peace for brief periods. So you can start by increasing that commitment. Ask also, what undermines your peace? Where do you lose sight of this inner truth? And how can you return to a peaceful state when it has been lost? Giving up resistance to reality is a good start. When you allow yourself to begin noticing any internal resistance that moves you away from peace into judgment, where love goes missing, then you have a new choice to simply give up your resistance. Everything is as it needs to be, always. When you stop fighting what is, there's an immediate access to peace. Whenever you are feeling anything less than peace, simply inquire, what can I give up in this moment now to allow peace to be restored? It may be a sense of being right, superior, justified, judgmental, unforgiving, lacking in compassion, or unwilling to love. Simply choose love and peace above all these reactions, promoted and determined by the default working of the unguarded mind, and get back into your own heart. When your energy is vibrating on the level of peace and love, you are directly contributing to the global peace initiative more powerfully than by standing in a peace rally or waxing lyrical about the wrongs of war. A peaceful state attracts peaceful agreement. This is the only path to peace on earth. It is non-negotiable. You have all the power. The second human value, right action. Live from the wisdom of your internet, i.e., your inner voice or conscience. Allow this voice of wisdom to lead your actions in every instance. People have an internal guidance system, which, if adhered to, will never allow them to divert their journeys away from their targeted spiritual progress. When you consciously choose to bypass this higher wisdom, you create karma, future karma for yourself, the cost of which will be billed to you at a future date. There is no escape from the reality of cause and effect, the reality of karma. So every conscious choice you make for right action is moving you in the direction you should be going, and vice versa. Only you can be responsible for the penalties you will be required to pay. Therefore, you have been given free will to engage with conscious choice or otherwise. You have all the power to choose, but no one to blame, including God, I might add, when the die is cast by your very own actions. So, choose your actions carefully. And if you take my advice, ask yourself, am I being true to myself in this action? When we act consciously, we can better handle the results of our actions and learn from our mistakes. The third human value, non-violence. You might reflect that this is an easy one to achieve, Grace, because most people are not violent in nature and might feel that they can tick this box as a done deal. But ponder the damage that hastily spoken words of anger can cause in the heart of another. This is a form of violence. Violence which can result in the disempowerment of another's spirit more deeply than with the cut of a knife. Even your negative thoughts towards another can be vibrationally felt as an attack. People may not know consciously what is going on, but there is a violence of intention sparked when thoughts of anger or judgment are aimed at another. You can feel these negative energies greet you on entering a room with someone whom you do not feel you can trust or feel safe with. Always make your thoughts, words, and actions sweet, never to harm the spirit of another. You have no idea what others deal with in their lives, and the better choice is always to be loving and supportive, even in the face of disagreement and invalidation. The best motto to live by is help ever, hurt never. It is simple, but clear guidance to steer your path. And if you live by this commitment, you will not go wrong. The fourth human value is truth. Live your truth. What does that mean in the simplest terms? First, discover who you are and who you are not. Let go of attachment to the false self of your little me. Begin to look beyond the story of me. Unpeel the layers of the onion of egoic subterfuge and reveal the precious bulb of truth at the core of who you are. To betray yourself is to begin to die from the inside out, as you have seen in some of the scenarios we witnessed together, Grace. Never sell out on the integrity of your own soul. Be true to the best of who you are, and you won't go far astray because you are already divine love at your very core. Only when you actively compromise this truth can you cause harm to yourself or others. So pay close attention on this one. The fifth human value is love. Your true nature is love. So the practice needed here is simply to love all and serve all as oneself. Then you are living in truth. How do you do that? Listen to your inner voice when you have opinions and judgments about others which separate you from love. It is as simple as that. To achieve mastery in this practice takes a lifetime of being willing to let go and let God. Leave the judgments to God. It is not your business to judge and fail anyone or to find fault in anyone. Your job is simply to love everyone. That's it. Start the day with love, fill the day with love, spend the day with love, and end the day with love. This is the way to God. There's a beautiful quote from Mark Twain, which I often refer to, and it seems appropriate here, Grace. It is regarding forgiveness. Forgiveness is the fragrance that the violet sheds on the heel that has crushed it. Isn't that exquisite? Judgment is one of the greatest roadblocks to love and forgiveness. The antidote to the poison of judgment, which when consumed, kills the one administering the poison as well as the one receiving it. Remember that your only job is to focus on your own spiritual journey, and you will find plenty to work on regarding yourself before you can begin to justify focusing on the faults of others. Simply love all people and all beings as an expression of God. Grace said, "Thank you for explaining this to me, Angelo. I will include all of this in the last chapter of the book. Is there any way in which you want me to finish the final chapter?" Angelo replied, "What we have done here, Grace, is to merely introduce the subjects of the first book from a broad perspective, explaining complex topics through experiential understanding. We cannot possibly cover any more in book one. It will be too much for people to absorb in one go, and some may find the wisdom in this communication to be too challenging for them to come to grips with on their first reading. Do not worry about that. Your job is to offer it and to let go of how it will be received. That is not your business. This is therefore the beginning of a series of books which will contribute to the great spiritual awakening of all living beings on earth. It is time. I trust you now, Grace, to see this project to its natural conclusion. I will always be by your side and at no distance. I know that you can handle all that is required to have this book find its place in the world. There will be more to come when the time is right, and you will have an opportunity to get more deeply involved then. But for now, I must take your leave." Angelo stood and moved slowly to the abundantly blooming white rose bush in Grace's front garden. He tenderly held up a rose for her to admire, and while she leaned forward to inhale its unique fragrance, a tiny butterfly landed on the rose as if to seal the moment with the kiss of eternal beauty and timeless perfection. Angelo smiled at Grace, bowed to her, kissed her hands, and walked away.